Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Ludum Dare Live with Light. Sorry, I'm late. Errands went a little longer than expected. Why does it think I'm offline? It shouldn't think I'm offline. Because I am very much online! YouTube's good. Even Twitch is good. Come on, Mixer. Hey, good job, Mixer. Okay, so we desperately need to, actually do things. Mixer's just weird sometimes. Alright, ping the Discord. There we go. The Discord has been pinged. Okay, let's just do a quick gander at what we have right now. I had an idea for what we could do if we did need to downsample things and upsample things. Where we could have a smaller working canvas and then scale it up at the end. And so we have one surface with the native resolution, and then we scale it up to whatever resolution people are using. Or even scale it up to 720, because we think that's what people should use. But I think that would be a good thing to just have, where we have a standard native resolution, and then we have a scaled resolution. So let's just do a bit of quick work to find which one we like. So let's try 540. So that would be $960. Yeah, Unity is super popular. That's not too bad. Let's check out how that looks full screen. Again, with the scaling. That actually doesn't seem too bad. That could be a reasonable size for our character. You still have a bit of screen real estate to work with. And it can run 10 dudes with the background. Let's try 50. Okay, so 50 is still above the 30 FPS that we desperately need. Okay, so scaled size equals native scale times scale. And then the scaling will be 1.5, I believe, to get it up to 720, yeah? Oh, size. Can't multiply oh, right. Okay. Okay, so this should change literally nothing. Okay, literally nothing has been changed. Except changing the official scale, which we're going to be doing away with. We're getting rid of every instance of scaling. Because we're just going to scale the thing at the end. Actually, before we do this, we are going to back up this entire project. Just in case we mess everything up irreparably. Okay, so we no longer need to multiply the rectangle by the scale. Because we are scaling nothing. Now, loading into the sprite pool. Is there any point at which... No, because we scale it by the app scale. So we don't need to scale it anymore. Okay, let's find scale. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we don't need scaled illuminations either. We don't need scaled locations either. Those are used over here. And so it's dirty, but I'm gonna do it. We're just gonna return an unscaled thing. So we don't have to worry about that other code worrying about the scale. Oh, sorry. Been doing a lot of stuff while you were just staring at a slime. So yeah, I made a backup of the whole thing in case everything goes wrong, and I've been hunting down every instance of scale and removing it. And that should be all of them. Run it and watch it crash. It didn't crash! What is this world coming to? Okay, so now we're going to change the way it works with the display. Probably too much of a bother to make what you're explaining. But we'll see whether it's easier to write it in XML or to write an editor. Okay, so the game window is going to be the scaled size. The native window will be surface of size native size. We will build everything onto the native window. And then right at the end, we will blit it onto the game window. Game dot transform dot scale self dot native window to the size scaled size. Comma 0 0. Did we break it? Of course we broke it. Line 36. Ah, we need to use integers. Hey there, Weird Monster. We are back. Scaled size not defined. Right, because it's not just scaled size, it is self.scaled size. Really? That destroys the frame rate? Why does that destroy the frame rate? Let me check if there are faster transformations. Okay, so it'll be faster to do this. Maybe that'll help. A little. .30 FPS isn't destroyed, but it's... I need some wiggle room. And I was hoping this would actually speed it up, not slow it down. And it just made it a whole lot worse. Whole lot worse, because this is the same resolution as we had before, but lower FPS with more things. Or lower FPS with fewer things. Like, at no point is this getting up to 60 FPS. Whereas if we go What did I call that? Actually, it doesn't matter. We just come in here and we hit tab twice. Oh, right, we set the scale in midway. Okay, so let's swap those two. Man, I've got so many things open. That's fine. Just close them all down. What is it open in? Oh, great. They're both open. Close all the things. What even has it open? Is Python somehow still running somewhere? Okay, so let's actually try something. Let's open all of these back up. Yeah, we don't need that one. See how it runs like this. Okay, so let's see if scale 2x is sufficiently faster. If that works, then maybe we can use something. 3, give it. Oh, right, we don't need the size for 2x. That's actually quite a bit faster. I mean, everything's still built for 720, but... that is easily rectified. Let's see, that should be about 500, and that should be 80. So that. Okay. Okay. And so if we kick it back up to... 160 by 540, not 840, 540. It's okay. Yeah, they're bigger. We're trying to figure out how to render it fast enough. And I also think that we might have forgotten to close our XML. And welcome back, Colin. Let's see. Do we have to close it when we're done with it? Or does it just open it, read it all, and then it closes it itself? It doesn't look like it has anything where you have to... Ah, there's parser.close. That closes the parser. Okay, so what kind of object is that? It's an element tree object. So fine, I'll get iter, get root, iter, parse, right. So there's no way of closing that file. Image. Do we have to close the images? No. Ah, Photoshop's still using them. Is that good? Ah, now we can change them. Okay, let's close that. What? Why is that still busy? There we go. So now if we restart this, will it reload the appropriate files? Looks like it might. Not JS. Pi. Okay. Move this back over here. We'll come back into app. Change the scale back. So it's not much worse. Oh wait, that's 50. How many was the other one using? 10. Yeah. So if we kick this down to 10... yeah, we get really good performance. At 960 by 540. And then if we go full screen, it still looks pretty decent. So I'm thinking we should make the aesthetic choice of having solid colored large backgrounds and then occasional sprite work over... I'm thinking aim for about 30% of the screen. Okay, so we need to open up, we need to go back to desktop. We need to open up some XML files as well. We'll give this its illumination back. Brilliant. And then where we initialize them. Get rid of background. Fight the final boss, Ashes of Ariando DLC. So quickly. That's a shame. Okay, so let's get rid of the extra blocks for now. Let's just comment them out. We might want them again soon. And then we want one at the very center of the screen. Going nowhere, and we do want it sorted. Actually, we want it lower. Okay. Then we want our regular slime. Right there. Okay. Man, this really sounds like the music from Mario 2. Well, it is a desert theme from a very Mario-looking cover. Okay. Now, it'll be more expensive than I would like to test the collision against every entity on the screen. And so it'd be really good if we could test not every entity that's on the screen. So most likely grid-based collision detection is what we're gonna need.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Such that when you spawn each of the static entities, you determine which grids they're in. And when you update moving entities, you would update which grids they are in. But I don't know how many moving entities I'm gonna have.
You think I'm beautiful?
Because by using the grid-based method, then it would be very easy to tell which things are really close by. And so you'd probably just make a basically slime-sized grid of blocks.
Sunday here. I haven't seen wands like this in a while. Staffs that face wizard zombies. Literally.
And then you'd make a
wizards. It's
quadruply linked list, I guess. And make each one a bin that has various entities in it.
Dumbledore, I'm a wizard too.
And so when you add an entity, hello? Yeah? What's up? Can you not hear me? Doobie-doo-doo. Let's see. Let's make what we're staring at a little more interesting. Colin can hear me. Oh, that's good. Let's make it a little more interesting. Like so. Mixer stream cut out for a moment. Oh no. Okay, this music is more like it. So we need a quadruply linked list of bins. That any entity could be a member of. And then when it moves, it just needs to check itself against the bins that it's a member of and those bins' neighbors. The trouble is that you're already going to have neighboring bins, so you need to not double check the bins. Don't want to use a quad tree? Do I really want to write a quad tree? Like right now? Do I know enough about quad trees? Oh, I see. Oh, Pygame has quad trees? What? Where does it have quad trees? I don't remember coming across that. Because I know it's got the masks, which are really awesome. Well, let's ask. Pygame quad tree. Like, it's got code in the blog, but I don't think it's built in. And is it cheap enough to recompute it for items that are moving? Because that's my biggest concern, is we're going to have to recompute which bins something is a member of to be able to do accurate detection. So yes, quad trees are really awesome, because then they're only as expensive as you want to make them, really. Well, I suppose depending on how many things we have on the screen. It wouldn't be that bad to implement. But each membership test would be another collision detection. I don't know if it's fast enough, though. Because we're not really going for super accurate here. It's just the rotation part that's problematic, and why I would kind of like to use something built in, rather than rotating my rectangles and then doing collision detection. And so we'd want a mask pool like... Oh no, because the masks would need to be rotated. So let's see how much, if any, it chews up. Let's throw a bunch of slimes back on the screen. Okay, so high 50s. With those. Now we come into I suppose, but that would require a lot more infrastructure to manually rotate things. And it'll use up a lot more RAM. Okay, what was I doing? We need to get the rotated... We need entity player, because that's where we have the rotation. And so here... we do our rotation. You were lost the second you started watching. Okay, so we're uncertain. Is the rotation causing problems? So let's take it out and see. Okay, I messed something up. Come on. There we go. Okay, rotation's causing a little bit of trouble. It'll look really chunky if you only use 8 degrees. Like 8 rotations. I wonder if I can emulate that for you. Temp rotation equals int of rotation divided by 45 times 45. Temp rotation. That's too many dudes, but let's cut back on the dude so it's easier to see. Yeah, the music really is quite nice. And so it's a bit chunky in how it moves, and we would have to rotate all of the animations frame by frame. And that seems problematic to me. Okay, so once again, we need to have a reliable way of parsing out the space and determining what bin something belongs in. And not run it against bins you've already checked. So if you give every bin an ID, and then for each entity, you tick which ones you've checked. Should be fine. Yes, the method that we're planning on using... Brothers Choir concert. Have a good one, Weird Monster. The technique we're going to be using is pixel perfect and based on this sprite. My only concern is that it doesn't get rotated until the very end. So we'd end up having to do the collision detecting here. And that, seems like a bad time. Simon Schwab, when is the deadline? 9 p.m. tomorrow. Not gonna make it. Now, granted, the player's the only one rotating. Vein Brain! I would like to make it horror. How fast is too fast for the collision detection? If you start on one side of an object and end on the other side of the object. So, at the moment, it would be able to pass through things that are 25 pixels wide. Yeah, we're not at the spoopy yet. We've got the lighting, so we'll be able to build the ambiance. But we're gonna need sound to do it too. But we're currently having trouble landing on how to do the collision detection. In a way that won't bog the system down, because this is Python. It's not meant to be pushed this hard. And so at this point, I'm thinking we need just a static grid, and we'll have the slimes just check on everything that happens. And we'll have way more slimes now than we're ever going to have, because we're going to have one slime. Yep, I think that's the way we're going to go. The grids are going to be roughly slime sized, so they'll be probably 60 to 65 pixels across. Which means we'll have 9 bins going down. And then, what's 960 divided by 60? 16. So 16 across and 9 down. So we'd have 144 total bins. I've never worked on a horror game before. That was part of the allure. I've barely played any. Okay. Time for a new file. Okay, so I'm going to reference them by their top left corner. So when we make it, it takes itself. Let's see. We're probably going to also want them off the screen. Such that if we have... if we've got any sort of death plane off the screen, we're going to want them 1 or 2 spaces off the screen as well. So we're not going to hard code in screen position. And so we'll pass in its ID number. We'll pass in left and top. Actually, we'll pass in a rectangle of its bounding box because it's going to be a rectangle. And then we'll pass in west, north, east, and south, such that we can link it up properly. Currently working on updates for one old horror game. Nice. Which one? Or can't you say? Non-disclosure agreement. Self-ID box. West, north, east, south, none. Should be all we need. Can we make a surface from a rectangle? Kinda. .12 creepy statue that moves if you blink. Let me check the mass. What are you trying to tell me? Steam? Something on my wish list is good. SCP containment breach. Fancy. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we're going to make a constant where we make a surface of the appropriate size. So we need the appropriate size. Grid size is 60 by 60. Grid mask is pygame dot surface of grid size. We need to make a mask out of it. So pygame dot mask dot from surface that. And then the app is gonna do the who's gonna do the colliding? Who's putting it in the bin? I think the entities know what bin they're in. Yeah, I think the entities know. Oh, it's still running. My game is not defined because I didn't load it. Definitely gonna be needing that. Okay, not broken. Good.
Let the night set in, a blanket of darkness covering up your fears. It's getting harder to see.
Time Breach, best horror game you ever played? Nice. Good to know. Well, I'm glad you could stop by, Vinbrain. Or is it Vanebrain? I don't know. But yeah, it's been nice having a lot of people just stopping by. Not a good creator. Not a creator. Got a good role in the dev team. Good, 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 good. Ah, the original as opposed to the Unity remake. Sweet. Okay, so when making the grid, I'm gonna need to know how big everything is. So, right about here, self dot collision grid equals collision grid, except now the entities aren't using it. The game is. But yeah, we only want one collision grid. But we're gonna have to work with it here as well. Okay, so we start up the collision grid. We're gonna need let's see. Gonna need the size of the original. Okay. Then we just build the grid. Looks like you stopped since last update was October 30th. Hey, these things take time. The older something is, the more time it takes, because you're not making small changes. Oh, new one. Neat. Right. Okay, so it starts, but it stops before the last one. Desktop background right now. Sounds like you'll spook yourself out with that. Okay, so we want -2 times grid size sub-0. 2. Hey, Vein Brain over on the mixer now. Awesome. Okay, so size sub-0 plus 2 times grid size sub-0 step of grid size. Now, I'm never certain of myself, so I'm gonna double check. Bins equals 0. Bins plus equals 1. Print bins. Teaser image. Like teaser images. Right, you can't just call collision grid, we need collision dot. Wah, wah. Native size is not defined. Of course not, because it is self.native size. Tuple cannot be interpreted as an integer. Right. Sub-0. Uh, 20 bins. That's how many we're supposed to have, yeah? 16 plus 2 plus 2. 20. Don't worry about it, Vein Brain. Any talk is good talk. I am happy to hear about the awesome stuff that goes on out in the world. While I'm trying to make these slimes do slime things. Okay, and then we just duplicate this. Okay, so that should be 20 times 11. Ooh, that's the wrong number. Yes, talk, gotta talk. Okay, so we'll get rid of that one and see what the devil is wrong with this one. And welcome, Frog, by the way. Why are there 13? $540 divided by 60 is 9. Right, plus 4 is 13. It's absolutely right. I'm just an idiot. That is the theme of this stream. I'm just an idiot. Still don't understand what's going on the screen. Well, so my idea for what will make this game atmospherically spooky is partially the illumination, partially the sound, but also your inability to rely on gravity. So at the beginning of the game, you would be pulled straight down, as per usual. But as you went further and further along, you'd have things in the world that, for some reason, you gravitate towards instead of going straight down. And so you would stop being able to rely on gravity to make your jumps, and so the platforming would get progressively more insane. And so, for some ungodly reason, I decided to implement the gravity before the collision detection, because it was easier and more fun. Okay, have a good one, Weird Monster. Thanks for being here. And so we have the slimes doing what slimes do while we code, such that it's not just code. Okay, so we're gonna need to be able to detect the first and last of each of these, because the ones on the edges will be treated differently. Oh, Colin, that is absolutely terrifying. We want people to survive having played our game, though. We can't guarantee that by combining those two things in such quick succession. People drown in their own tears. Or have an aneurysm, depending on the type of person. Wait another 10 minutes before we leave. Okay, so what we really need is an XLim. Again, this is Python. Don't camel case it. Okay, now, the problem is, it will never actually get to this one. So we're gonna go like this. So we're gonna have XLim Sub-Zero. XLim of 1 plus grid size of 1. Grid size of 0. I mean, I suppose I could make a two-dimensional thing, but whatever. Copy and paste and Y. 1, a 1, a 1. And copy this. Put it in here. Swap it over to Y's. Save it, close it, run it. Same result. Yes, for not breaking it. Oh, it's such an uncommon feeling. Okay, so now we should be able to detect borders. So, if x equals xlim sub-0, actually, you can just make this one logical statement. Corner! Yeah, he's no longer horrified by flying around that psychedelic block. That is way too many corners. Oh, right, because you need X and Y. X border equals this part. Y border equals this part. If X border and Y border, then what you gonna do? There we go, 4 corners. Now, if we've got 4 corners, that means we've got good borders. And if we've got good borders, then we know whether or not we need to send in a west, north, east, or south. Big trouble is some of those don't actually exist when we create them. Hello, Jalen Duke Sturkey. Yeah, I mean, that is a common trope of Lovecraftian things, non-Euclidean geometry. Toasty indeed. I don't like how warm it's getting in here. Okay, so we're building it from the upper left-hand corner. So we could... Geometries for squares. Yeah, so we could, when we set the north, tell the north to set the south. Circles, planes, ellipses, so on. Klein bottles! It's all about the Klein bottles! We are attempting to code a hyper-adorable horror platformer, but at the moment, we're working on collision detection. Civil War was about to break out. X border, Y border. Okay. So the only limits we're really going to care about are the lower limits. Because we don't add anything if we're on the left-hand side, we don't add anything if we're on the top. But as we go down, it'll be fine. What part of that English was not comprehensible? We had way less comprehensible things talked about yesterday. Oh, the Klein bottle isn't English? It's like a Mobius strip, just, you know, weirder. Can see people going, oh, what? Tell that to Mr. Klein. Just be glad I haven't had to go off on, you know, higher level mathematics yet. Georg Cantor can... Oh, Georg Cantor. The problem is, how do we get specific bins from the grid? To even build this way. Because I don't think this way is really going to work. Because I think we might need to recurse. No, they're not poop emojis, they're slimes. Because if we try to loop over it like this, the next thing in the loop won't have any idea where the previous thing was. Well, the way anyone uses math can be completely different from how somebody else uses it. So logic is fairly fundamental. But the things people construct from it, it's all art. %99 math on the efficient Factorio series. Neat. Wolf Mongta! Hi, Jalen. Welcome to Twitch. You might want to watch on Mixer if you want it super fast, though. Twitch is only kinda fast with its quote-unquote low latency mode. Yes, Mixer! Mixer.com/Lightbringer. Or you can just go to lightbringer.com and it'll show it to you and you don't have to sign up. Okay, so we're gonna move this up here. Yeah, it used to be Beam. And Microsoft bought it and rebranded it. I don't remember what the order was on that. I don't remember if Microsoft bought it and then rebranded it, or if it rebranded and then got bought. It was about the same time. Ah, the exact number of intermediate items. That's a lot of math. Program an interpreter in the game to handle the calculations. Nice. Let's see. Because I think we're just going to make a list of the bins. Oh, that's how we do it. We need the list of bins. That's all we need. We need the list of bins by ID number. I actually think this game would benefit from being simpler. That you don't want to overcomplicate this, because it really is atmospheric, and once you start adding more mechanics to it, you pay less attention to the atmosphere. When all you have to do is jump, you're really in the atmosphere. But once you start adding hook shots and enemies and all of that, it would pull you away from the part that's really important. But yes, all we have to do in here is make a list. And then we still keep counting the bins because that's the ID number. Yeah, I've been working on this too long. Like, so many hours have passed by that my brain is not functioning for me to not see that solution. I'm gonna hate seeing tomorrow. I can see why this thing doesn't go longer. Okay, so once again, now we have the list. We're going to append things to the list. And so self.grid list, not dash, underscore, dot append. We're gonna make a collision bin with an ID of bin, with a box of rect x comma y comma 60 comma 60. I'm not sure we need that. Yeah, Mixer has some issues when trying to get people to sign in. I am so glad I joined when it was Beam. I just set up a username, and I've been able to use it ever since. I don't think we need it to be a rectangle. Because we've got the grid size as a constant. We've got the grid mask. All we really need is a tuple of the location. And then we won't add any of the others. we'll include those later. To get logged in, you can get a username made by resetting your null account password. It's complicated. We don't need commas. What are we doing? Fully functioning mixer name. Nice. Okay. So do we add set W, set N, set E, set S functions? Oh no, we should just make this a neighbors thing. Such that we can just loop over the neighbors. And then we need set neighbor self is it type? Is it ID? Is it orientation?
Wake up in the morning to an empty space. Looking forward to all the troubles that they can
Self.neighbor sub orient equals neighbor. Neighbot.
always thought that I'd get far if I really tried. Oh.
Self ID is ID. Self box is box. Box is box is box is box.
So turn away, you see, nothing is what it seems.
Sounds like Killer Robotic Horse. Neighbot. Yep, 100%. Okay, so then we've added a bin if x is not equal to x lim of 1 or of 0. Then we add some neighbors. Self dot grid list sub bin dot set neighbor. Which one? We're setting the one to the west, so that's 0. Let's make some constants. Grid W equals 0. North, east, south. Grid north. No, grid west. And that'll be this guy. -1. Affected you have mixer comics. I thought.
Which way should I go so far?
You can change your mixer username. It's limited to once every however long, but it'll 100% let you do it. Let's see. Now, the problem is if we shift by Y, we need to know how many bins back we go. So row bins equals size sub-0 divided by grid size sub-0 plus 4. Print row bins. We're gonna comment this out for testing that. Thanks. Uh, 20.0 is almost the correct answer. We do not trust floats in this household. Okay. We do some weird things sometimes, Notepad++. Okay, so if y is not equal to y lim, so 0, then we do the same thing, but now grid north, and it's minus row bins. And we also do the same for the other one, except the exact opposite. And so it's been -1, grid east, bin. Bin row bins. South. Yay, changed. Jalen Starkey, thank you for accepting my duck. It should be along shortly. Okay, so that should be what it takes to make a grid. We should have a grid now. List index out of range. Right, because we need to append it. Except, now it's being stupid because I should have appended every bin that we need. Quack, quack, quack. So, that's a problem. So we're going to print bin and length of self.grid list. it shouldn't look for... because this XLim should... Because the first one should be in the top left corner. And should have an X of 0, or should have an X at the X limit, which means it shouldn't try to add something to the west. So the first one it should skip, because it's at the X limit and the Y limit. And so it won't try to add anything to the west or to the north. The second one should... The second one should then be in bin 1, referencing bin 0 to the west, and then bin 0 adding bin 1 to the east. The problem is, now it's thinking the Y is funky. Because it's saying that it's out of the list index with grid north here on line 43. So what I'm wondering is why is... Oh, because we're doing the Ys. We're doing it in the order of the Ys, not the X's. I've got it switched. Got it switched around. I always do this. There we go. All better. Collision bin object has no attribute neighbor. Always a mundane little detail. Oh, there's another thing that... What? Did I not save it? I didn't save it. There we go! No, just enough to be dangerous. Well. Okay, so we've got ourselves a grid. 260 boxes. Theoretically covering this whole place. Now we just need to figure out how to make it actually do what we want with it. Oh, man. We're not going to make as much progress as I had hoped. But yeah, let's... Let's let those guys run for a bit. Don't need any of that anymore. Brilliant. Well, no, I mean today. Like, just today I was hoping to do a certain amount, and it doesn't feel like we're even going to have the collision detection by dinner. And this is only 50 slimes. And let's give you a nice close-up look at it. So yes, OBS does work. You can use window capture to capture the game. Okay, so now that we have the 8 hours to midnight, you got... No, I mean, by dinner, I wanted to have collision detection done. I was not expecting the grid part to take this long. It'll be fine. So yeah, now we have the grid, so now we'll be able to move things through the grid such that we can do efficient collision detection. Still love that overflow where they just poof. into being all the way at the top. Dinner on the west coast of Alaska? Yeah, I eat dinner early. What exactly do I want it to do? So right now, you don't... Oh, there, it's capturing my cursor. Right now, the slimes go straight through this block. This block is supposed to be real-ish. And right now, the gravitation keeps them going towards the block, but I need them to hit the block and stop. And at the moment, it's not feasible. Well, it's not good to take the thing you're looking at and then try to collide it with everything on the screen. It just takes too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the grid of the screen and only look for things that will collide with my dude in the grid spaces he is currently a member of. And so, in a lot of cases, you'll end up doing, like, 5 collision tests, maximum, as opposed to however many things will be on the screen. And all the other things on the screen don't collide with each other. I don't expect having physics for anything other than Mr. Slime Guy here, and there's only going to be one of these guys. And yes, this is, in fact, a song from Crypt of the Necrodancer. This is from 1-2. This is the Chipzel remix. Chipzel has a lot of stuff on Pretzel. And no, I don't know if that's how it got its name. Yes, I will eventually not want them to be doing the infinite figure eights around and through it. Eventually. Pretzels. Okay, so we got bins, we've got grids. Now we need to determine when a slime has entered the same grid as something else. So what we need is for an entity to determine which bins it's a member of. Now, the dangerous part of that is that right now, we don't actually rotate them until we're about to blit them. And that's just too late for collision detection. So we actually need to do the collision detection let's see. It's only the player that's going to collide, so we want entity player to be doing the collision in here. And so here is where we determine the new rotation. We've already determined where it's going to be based on this. Now, problem is, if we do it after we update this, it'll be after we've updated its position, and if it's supposed to collide, we don't really want it to finish at that point, because then it'll have smushed inside of whatever it is we're trying to collide it with. And so we need to figure out a relatively efficient way of determining A, that it has collided, and B, that it should stop at a certain point. I'm not too worried about it needing to roll. So what we need is to have this done prior to updating that, and then here doing the collision. It's alright, Jalen, you don't have to contribute. At least not to the coding. You can talk about how much you love or hate Necrodancer. Any sort of company while doing this is welcome. So, Pie Guy, how's your collision detection coming along? Mine, I've got a grid. And I need to determine to which grid anything belongs. What's Necrodancer? It's an indie game. It's a fast-paced, turn-based strategy, dungeon-crawling music thing. Okay, so we're gonna need to update the bin. That's... actually... Yeah, because update bin will be part of entity, because everybody needs to do it. Which means this really doesn't belong here. Ah, man, now we're running into the trouble of collision detection's non-existent. That's a shame. Because this is where they actually do the moving. That's actually interesting. Can we detect whether or not something is a player inside of the entity update function? Is it class or class name? We can. That's really hacky. Don't really like it. But to be more honest, I kind of like it. So here's where we would do the update of the bin. Well, I don't know. It's quite the conundrum. Because we don't want to actually push it if it collides. But we could retroactively undo the movement. That's not true, Pie Guy. Because just because it works doesn't mean it's efficient enough to use on a game level scale. Because you can make collision detection that works, that doesn't use any of this grid-based stuff, but it'll slow everything down by a boatload because you're going to have a ton of things on screen that need to be checked. Okay, so we're going to have it actually make the update, then we're going to check the collision. And then roll it back if we have to. Okay, so now we actually need the update bin function. So, well, the thing is, I don't want the things they collide with to necessarily be rectangles. It just so happens that what we've done so far have been nice, friendly rectangles. I don't want that restriction. I want to be able to have slopes. I want to be able to have ball things. So I think the most reasonable thing to do is to put it in the bin where its location sits. And then to work out from there until it doesn't collide with the bin. And so we'll need to get the mask, we'll need to pick the bin, and then recursively go through each of those bins' neighbors. So mask equals... Okay, have a good one, Jalen. Thanks for being here. Okay, so to get the mask, we need something like this. What is curse sprint? That's no good. Get rotated sprite. Okay, so we'll grab this as well. And so we put this here. And so we can get rid of this line and this line. Okay, so we don't want to do any of that. Make sure we didn't break anything. Flip is not defined. Clip is only used in this, so that is fine by me. Okay, not broken. So to get the mask, we need self.sprite.get rotated sprite. And how do we make a mask? Pygame.mask from service. Make sure this is what we think it is. It's a mask object. Okay. I do like it. Which one is this? Sevcon, Chipsel Remix. Big Giant Circles and Chipsel on the Glory Days. So it's a mix of two groups that are on Pretzel quite a bit. Okay, so we now have our mask. Now we need to intersect our mask with various things. We also need to know how... Yeah, this part is also a little disconcerting. Because we'll also likely need the anchor to be able to... accurately do the offset for those detection. Yay, we didn't break it. Oh, I can smell dinner already. My goodness. Didn't think it would be cooking already. Okay. So now we're going to have to try to collide with the grid. Okay, what do we need to be able to do it? Yeah, because we don't want to store the mask or the anchor for very long. So we'll pass those along. And I don't think we need the entity itself. Except that we need the entity's location. And so we could just call this offset. Because we can calculate the offset from the entity's location and its anchor. Like we do right here.
We in the game, we on the stage. It's 508, you know the name. We get it lit, we make them rave. It's the campaign, pop the champagne.
Okay, it's gotten a little dubby in here. Ghost, welcome back. How's keeps it going. And so from here we then just do self.app. What did I call that? Collision grid. Efficient development for the day. Have a basic enemy. Start a wave system. Nice. I've got gravitation. I don't yet have collision. Make a little vlog thing for it. Nice. So we're going to send the mask and the offset.
We in the game. We on the stage. It's
Means it
508.
should arrive here.
You know the name. We in the game. We on the stage. It's 508. You know the name.
Surprising number of frames, even while printing all of that nonsense.
It's the campaign.
Okay, so we're gonna make this something that sticks around. There's no sense recomputing that every time we need it. Love constants. Make sure you didn't break it. Not broken. Okay, so now we need to figure out which bin the anchor is in. So we take offset sub-0, divide it by grid size sub-0, and then take the floor of it. Plus self.row bins times same thing but the Y direction. Okay, so that should give us numbers between 0 and however many bins we had, 260. Brilliant. And so now we should just try to collide it with that bin. Self dot grid list sub starting bin dot collide mask offset. Oh, right, self. Always have the self. This isn't Zen or anything. Wait, what? Ah, sometimes they do go outside. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with row equals this nonsense. Col equals this nonsense. And then if row is less than or less than and equal to strictly less. So row bins and col is strictly less than self dot col bins. Then we do some things. Invalid syntax. What did I do? I got rid of one of the brackets. Let's wait until one of them falls into the void. I'm pretty sure one of them has fallen into the void by now. Okay. Okay, so when we make it, we have its XY coordinate in the box. And so when we do these collisions, the offset for the mask overlap will be some difference between the offset and the box. And so we're going to need mask dot overlap. with grid mask offset by me offset to you. So we've got the mask offset, but we need this box minus the mask. So minus offset. So we're going to return the result of this collision, which returns the result of that. So back here, collisions equals that, print collisions. You can't subtract tuples? Really? Okay. We'll do it the hard way. Okay, so we might have a small problem in that this surface has nothing on it. Game.color. Try it again. Whoops. Why did I close it? Oh, right. Can't convert without it initialized. Don't care. Still no collisions. Perhaps these are in the wrong order. Well, that's no good.
to a place where I can feel the rain again.
Oh, wait.
Reach the mountain where I can soar across
We're off by
the
2.
sky. And so my feet start to tremble, they lift off the ground. I leave it all behind, and I can see the horizon, it's calling my name. I leave it all behind. I'll rise above.
Okay, so switch these back around. Still no collisions.
I wanna fly through the night and feel what I used to be. I wanna run
Okay, so what should that be? So we've got the mask.
And so my feet start to tremble, they lift off the ground. I leave it all behind, and I can see the horizon, it's calling my name. I leave it all behind.
Let's actually check on how we make a mask from the surface. Well, it's solid color, so the mask should show up properly. Okay, so let's comment this out, and then back here. Here. Comment that out. Save. Why? Why 0? What is wrong with you? Yeah, you will. Yeah, this is the fortissimo boss fight music. Dink Winky, do you mean in the whole contest or in this stream? Suppose I could just answer both. In this stream, we're gonna go for about 12 more minutes and then have some dinner. The whole contest would be about 28 hours. Confused about Vector 2. What do you want to know, Pie Guy? It's 60 by 60. Why is none of it set? None of it's set, no matter what color I use. Okay, so getting the angle from point A to point B. So let's open up this. Okay, so we're gonna import Pygame. I'm gonna have car dot position equals Pygame dot math dot vector 2 of wherever the car happens to be. And then we're gonna have mouse dot position equals another vector. Say it's at 100 and 300. I'm gonna print car dot position dot angle 2 mouse dot position. Fine. We'll get rid of the dot positions because I didn't make them objects. And so it's 19.2 degrees from the car to the mouse. One thing that I would like to check, though, is whether or not it's still true if you have mouse minus car. Because that might not work exactly what I mean. John Hammond, do you really want to be banned? Because I can totally do that. Pie Guy, this was not accurate. Because this is getting the angle between them coming from the origin. That's not actually what you want. What you need is what you want to be 0 degrees. whether it's down or to the left or up. I'm going to make it up. And so you want 0 degrees to angle, and then mouse minus car. So you need a reference vector, and then you need a direction vector. Because, John Hammond, this is my home. You have just shown up in my home and said something crazy. And not the good kind of crazy either. I'm sorry, but if you say something bad crazy in my home, I'm going to eject you from my home. Especially before you eat my cookies. You seem like the sort of person who would eat my cookies. So yeah, there you go. Gets you the angle between the mouse and the car. And so this 164 degrees means it's pointing down that way, which is exactly what we expect. And to be absolutely certain, let's make it perfectly clear what angle we should get. Nice clean 180. So if we have 200 there and 50 there, you have 270, which is pointing to the left. Now, I was kind of hoping that it would have given me negative 90, but it is what it is. Okay, so back to this mask nonsense. Why don't my masks have anything in them? Fine. Other thing, minus me. My image mask. My game mask from surface, my image. My image from a ping. Should not be difficult. Do you mean the vector, like this Pygame vector code? Sure. John Hammond, if you're just gonna keep being trolly, I would be more than happy to ban you. It'd be better if you just, took part in some sort of discussion with, the other people who are actually in the chat. Or, heaven forbid, me.
I remember back when we used to ride this sleigh. Don't move.
Maybe it needs the color key. Set color key. Color key to just one. Wrong thing. Invalid argument. Curse you and you're not accepting tuples. Still nothing.
Stay close, think quick, think purely behind.
Move these down here.
You're in control. Open your mind, your prize, your eyes. Deep inside.
Set grid mask as none, such that it exists in the global scope. Oh, right. No, not the bins. Crash already. It's the wrong place. Sorry.
I remember back in those days when we used to play. I remember back when we used to ride this sleigh. Don't move on.
Weird. Oh, you're that sort of troll, John Hammond. Oh, I see. I think you need to work a little harder, though. I mean, you're going for some really low-hanging fruit. Wait a minute. Ah, right. We need pass. Oh, you usually go way more edgy, but I seem nice? Okay, well that's good. Oh, do we have to set it as global? Ah, there we go. Okay, so it's still a bunch of zeros. But now we can convert it. Grid surface dot convert. Spam the N-word in one too many Fortnite streams. It's probably one Fortnite stream too many, but it's how these things go. Why? Why? Why do these masks not work? Okay, I'm gonna do something. I don't like it. don't like it one bit. But I'm gonna do it anyway. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load an image into this surface. It is so wasteful. But at this point, I don't know why it's being dumb. Trouble is that the other games might not use the masks the same way I do. And I was using this exact code in here, and it did a whole lot of nothing. So I'm gonna make myself an image. Oh, it's IMGS. Really? Chose that moment? And so we're gonna make a new one. 60 by 60. Hey, look. It's exactly what we need. Let's go. Let's go. What? Where did I even put it? Photoshop, tell me where you put it. Sprites. It's not where it belongs. Cut. Paste. Let's try that again. Still nothing. No one's ever said that to me before. Ha. That's probably the best joke you've had yet. My surface. Okay, so it needs to be pygame dot color of those various things. Save it up. Still a whole lot of nothing. Problem is I can't not get caught up on this part. This part is the part that's important. I need to be able to detect if the slime is poking into that box at all. Because otherwise I'm going to have to write my own custom thing. Oh, right, dinner. I don't like calling it here. But I kind of have to. I do need to go eat. Can't believe this part just doesn't work. I even gave it an image. And it's still refuses to make the mask. Crazy. So, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have some dinner. I will be back. 6 might be pushing it, but we'll see whether it's 6 or 6:30 or 7. It'll be one of those. I'll post it in the Discord if you're in my Discord. If you're not, feel free to subscribe on YouTube or follow on Mixer or Twitch. If you do it right now, you might get a duck. If you do it later, sorry, you might not get a duck. Yep. I think that's about it. It's really upsetting. These masks should just work. Yeah. So, in the end, I might end up just doing super simple collision, just such that we have some sort of collision. Right now, this is uncalled for. But, thank you all for being here. I'll be back in a while.